My name is Antonio.
I'm Allison.
Welcome to the Reviewists. We're going to review Mad Max Fury Road. I suppose if we had to summarize it, if we had to give a synopsis, without trying to spoil anything more than what you may already have heard about it, it's pretty light. It's that they drive out into the desert.
Which that's Mad Max.
And drive back.
Right.
They find a reason. It's a good reason. It makes perfect sense. The plot, I feel, is really cohesive, mainly because of the things that you don't see, just as much or more than the things that you do see. And it really leaves so much more screen time for the action, which is really where it's at when it comes to this movie. This is a very interesting film, in my opinion. It has a lot of mixed feedback. A lot of folks seem to feel that it didn't have enough plot.
I think the plot is subtle, but it's there, and it's within all the action that happens, and every scene there's unspoken plot. If you try to go too heavy on the plot, then you're going to miss out on the action, which the director is very well known for.
And does well. In music, they say it's the notes you don't play.
All the actors do such a great job portraying their characters, and there's just so much emotion happening behind the actors' eyes, and that you don't even need the spoken word to get it. If you can't follow it without extra dialogue, then you don't need to see the movie. Especially with Furiosa, you can tell, just the way Charlize Theron played that character, you can tell there's a lot of history with her, that she was broken, and had rebuilt herself up in society that she had been snatched into. I really loved Tom Hardy in this. He did a great job. He was a man of few words, but worked for his character. He's crazy. That character has gone insane, and the opening scene with him is awesome. And it's just like the whole movie, the way it feels, it just throws you into it, and it takes you along for the ride.
I absolutely agree with the feedback about Tom Hardy's performance, as well as that of the rest of the cast. Right down to, what's his name? The guy from Warm Bodies.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Phenomenal work. I really felt...
Nicholas Hoult would be his name.
That's it, Nicholas. I felt his performance. I really did. He grew and changed. His character grew and changed over the course of the movie. I felt all of the characters had their own narrative. They had their own perspective, their own story. Every
point of view is very strong, each character. And as Nicholas Holt's character, he goes through a lot of emotional changes and a lot of self-awareness, because in the beginning, what are the kids called? They're
War boys.
That's what I thought, war boys. And so he's part of this group, and they're basically one organism. They don't have an individuality. Individuality is taken away from them.
Brainwash.
Yeah, so you see him progress through becoming an individual after being so brainwashed, so indoctrinated into this culture.
And as far as Tom Hardy's performance was concerned, I found it refreshing. We got to see his face in this one. We got to see him expressing his emotions. We got to see him vulnerable. We got to see him empowered. We saw him strong and capable of fighting. And we saw him in hapless positions where he got through the situation out of pure luck.
Yes.
And that's always fun from a hero.
And riveting to watch.
We were able to glean all of these things from the film without all the talking and the fighting, verbal fighting, the hassling, and the is he gonna drive the truck stuff from the old movies.
Yeah.
They jumped right into it.
Yeah, that's very high octane action. Yeah, just right off of that.
Very little setup. You get a lot of what would have been in the setup from the actual progression of the movie itself. Yeah. I mean, whether you want to call it a plot or not.
And the movie is visually stunning.
Absolutely.
Every scene is just beautiful. The cinematography just kicks butt.
I consider the piece to be a work of art through and through. I mean, just because something has explosions, just because something is basically a feature-length chase/fight scene with a short intermission in the middle, doesn't mean that it is not a work of art. And this applies to not only the movie as a whole, but also to individual components of the movie. Like each and every vehicle that was featured in this movie had to be custom crafted.
Yeah.
Not only to appear post-apocalyptic, but they also had other design flair that they incorporated to their work as well. I felt every one of the vehicles, whether they had to crash it or blow it up or whatever they ended up doing to it, was a work of art.
Yeah, and it was like you could tell, like, as far as the story is concerned, you could tell each war boy who got to drive a vehicle also got to customize his vehicle, were very hands-on with his vehicle. You know, because to them, their cars are like, you know, that's their baby. You know, the car is their baby, and
I mean, you got to think, if you were in the post-apocalypse and you managed to get a car together,
yeah,
kind of a big deal.
It's kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was absolutely a roller coaster ride of emotions. There were times when I felt myself tearing up.
Mm-hmm.
It was that good. So my recommendation, based on my personal opinion for this movie, is that it is a must-see.
It is. I agree with that.
Absolutely.
I agree with that notion. And if you like action movies at all, this is definitely a great action movie and nonstop and will deliver. If you would rather listen to people talk and hash out the plot verbally, then this movie would not be for you.
Well, this has been a review of Mad Max Fury Road. Thanks for watching. Click like and subscribe. The stuff that you're supposed to click.
We can work on our sign off later.
Sure, yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay. That's good for
Sure. Yeah, we can do like banter. Something.